Hi, and welcome back to Tasteful Adventures. I'm your host, Michelle. And today in my home, from the farmer's market, our adventure, we went to the Boulders Farmer's Market, and I picked up some really great, wild, crazy mushrooms from Hazel Dell Mushroom Company. And what I have for us today is a shiitake mushroom, a portobello mushroom, and this beautiful lion's mane mushroom. And what I'm going to be doing with the mushrooms is I'm going to be sauteing them up. For our meat of the day, I'm making a steak au poivre. It's got a different twist on it. It's wrapped in bacon, and it's done in an au poivre sauce, and I'll show you how to prepare that. And we are also going to have garlic mashed potatoes. So the first thing that I'm going to start with is my potatoes, dicing them up for you. Now these should take, about an hour on a nice medium boil. Now I like to salt them, of course, right in. A couple of pinches. I would say 2 tablespoons and measuring out. There we go. And I like to add bay leaf to my boiling potatoes. And actually, I want to use a little white pepper in this. What I'm going to be doing next is I have 2 nice pieces of filet mignon. And I'm going to show you exactly how I do these. What I do is I gently wrap them in the bacon, and I toothpick them, the bacon, so it doesn't fall off as I'm searing the meat. Now what I'm doing is I'm lightly peppering the au poivre, the steak itself. So what I like to do is just grind some fresh pepper, both sides, of course, no flavoring of one side, and just grind plenty of pepper. Salt, both sides again. I'm now going to sear our meat. I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter into my pan here. And I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to it. And I would say half a tablespoon. Just pour that in. So you want this to smoke a little bit, and that's when you know it's ready, and the butter and everything's all heated up nicely. What I'm going to do is place my lovely little fillets in there. Check out the sizzle. Wow. And here we are. We have our steaks cooking up. Beautiful bacon. Getting a nice little sear there. Smells delicious. 4 minutes each side. And then we're going to pull them off because I don't want to cook them in here. I'd like to get a nice little grill on them. And I have my grill pan in the oven that I'm going to take. It's been in there on 400. And it's going to take a nice sear to the top of the meat. And the way you know a sear is working is if the meat's still touching and won't lift nicely, your sear is not complete and making your little tracks on the meat. So when you could pull that meat off nice and easy and you're not pulling on the meat, that means it's finished and ready to turn over for another sear. I'm just going to take that stump off. Lay that there. Take some of the bottoms off. Give them a quick dice. I don't like them too small and too chopped. These are small enough, so I'm going to leave those whole. Put them back over here. I think they're ready to be flipped, and they are. Beautiful. You see you have nice little grill lines there. And that's what we wanted to achieve. Beautiful little grill lines. Let that melt down, and I'm going to add a tablespoon of olive oil. Perfect. And I'm going to salt and pepper, and I'm going to add in a tablespoon of garlic. Okay, our meat is ready to come out. Wow, that looks beautiful. Okay, let's pull this out. Place it right there. Just gently put your mushrooms in, and we're going to saute these beauties up. Perfect. Well, that's gorgeous. The next thing I'd like to start on is our Poivre sauce. I use all the bits from the steak. I never throw that out. We want to add our pepper to this, and we're going to be using a little bit less than a tablespoon again of olive oil. I'm going to put a little cognac in here. Tiny little bit. And then I'm going to add the cognac to this here. Okay, remove it from your heat. Cooking up. Let the alcohol burn off. That looks great. Blow it out. There we go. Now I'm going to add our cream. Just give this a nice whisk. And it'll take a little bit to thicken up. Just be patient with it. And you don't want to let it sit. Okay, our mushrooms are completed. There you have it. Okay, so I've basically drained all the water out of my pot. I've picked out the bay leaf within the potatoes. It was just there for flavor, and you really don't want that bay leaf. You don't want to get a chunk of it. It remains hard in the, it remains hard in the water. It never softens up, so it's not something you want to get a big bite of, okay? In this, I'm going to add a stick of butter. I'm going to add white pepper, 2 tablespoons of white pepper. I like it peppery, and salt. So we'll wait for our butter to melt a little bit. Got some yummy mashed potatoes, and we're going to add the cream. Now you could add milk. I just like them super fattening and super tasty. And I'm just going to mix that quick.